Promises he'll fix the cost of living, but my wallet's still empty. Ain't that giving? Lips promise tax cuts, but where's the dough? It's all just smoke and mirrors, don't you know? They're printing cash like it's Monopoly, but my rent's still high and the bills ain't free. While they sip their lattes and cameras glow, we're out here dodging potholes, moving slow. Green dreams and coal seams, they're at it again. One says save the planet, the other says when. But the bushfires rage and the floods keep coming while they bicker and squabble. Ain't that something? Almost got his solar panels, libs love their minds, both swear they're right, but we're reading the signs. The koalas are coughing, the reefs are fried, but hey, at least their egos ain't died.
G'day rock stars, how's it going guys? On today's episode it's going to be an Australian update. We have got E-Safety Commissioner, E-Karen for short. She wants mandatory age checks guys. It's so they can implement the social media ban for underage people such as 16 or below. So bad news about that. It includes YouTube, guys.
There's been some developments in E-Safety Commissioner Julie Inman-Grant's bid to ban young teenagers from YouTube because she doesn't like what the algorithm is presenting them and she doesn't like what she calls rabbit holes. SkyNews.com.au has been investigating Grant for a while now, and this week broke the story that she is refusing to release the research that she is quoting when lobbying Labor Minister Annika Wells. This is important because Grant has continuously insisted that she doesn't have a personal opinion. She is just following what the evidence is saying.
Well, I don't make determinations or write recommendations to the minister based on whether I keep the public on side. I follow the evidence. And my main concern with these platforms is obviously that harm's happening, but I talked about the persuasive design features. I mean, YouTube has mastered those. That opaque algorithms driving users down rabbit holes that they are powerless to fight against.
If you were so arrogant to admit that you don't care what the public thinks about an issue because the evidence better informs you, then you better show us the evidence. Her whole argument is that the evidence suggests that kids should be banned from YouTube, but she will not show us this evidence in full. We basically have to take her word for it. Angela, what do you make of this? You've got research, but you won't tell us, but here are the dot points, here's the top lines. It's not very credible.
What's her purpose? She is an advocate for adolescents, so her job is to be there and to push forward facts, not comment. This is not a comment position; it's a fact position. Whenever I write a story and I deliver it, I have to show my source material. She needs to show us the source material.
James?
I just, like, what she's just said is so emblematic of the elite bureaucrat of, I know better than you, just trust me. Like, she doesn't trust you to find what's on YouTube. She doesn't trust you to make up her own mind. Just believe her. Believe her evidence. What's wrong with that?
Now, your loser of the week is the E-Safety Commissioner. She wants to include YouTube in social media ban under 16s.
You know, and she's calling it a delay now. It's all semantics. We know, if we were really that worried about our children, we wouldn't send them to schools anymore. It's such a dangerous thing. They're getting brainwashed. Their, mental health is being affected because they're being told the world's going to end. What does she want us to wrap them all in cotton wool? It is an absurd thing. What's it going to be, a Trojan horse to facial recognition? We don't know.
I got to say, I disagree with you on this one. And I, of course, I love YouTube. A lot of our content goes up on there, but I do fear for kids on social media. Maybe it's having two little kids myself. I'm really in the thick of it. I'm worried.
Yeah, but what about parental responsibility?
Well, exactly. There does need to be parents, but I think what the problem is, some kids have it, some kids don't. It's really hard for parents to keep up.
Well, why should all suffer? I'm sick of the nanny state stepping in.
The E-Safety Commissioner now wants to ban under 16-year-olds from using YouTube. You heard that right, YouTube. This is the same unelected bureaucrat who tried to get Elon Musk to take content down from X. So according to the data, around 76% of children between the ages of 10 to 15 use YouTube, and 37% of them found some harmful content. So because some kids saw something potentially offensive on YouTube, everyone under 16 should be banned? I mean, sorry, let's just get this straight. This is not about protecting your kids. It's just about handing over the government more control because they don't trust you as a parent. So she wants the government to do it for you. And here's the extra sad thing. It's not just Labor's crazy plan for more state control. Both major parties support the e-safety commissioner, which is a bit ironic when you look at the Liberal Party's claim to support individual freedoms. This is a complete nanny state. Labor wants more censorship, the Liberals aren't standing by their values, and the Greens are too busy pushing mass migration and fear-mongering about climate change to care. I personally think it's time to fire the e-safety commissioner, scrap the YouTube ban, and end the nanny state. We need to stop letting unelected bureaucrats tell Australians what we can and what we can't do.
Yeah, well, in Victoria, we're already a nanny state, and they haven't protected our children. We currently have 1,200 children from as little as 5 months to 2 years old being tested for sexual transmitted diseases because they let a crazed maniac slip through the system and work in the childcare.
Concerned Victorian parents have described their shock after discovering an alleged child sex offender may have been working with children on more days than initially thought. 1,200 children are now being tested for sexually transmitted diseases after police arrested Joshua Dale Brown for allegedly abusing 8 children at a centre in Melbourne's western suburbs. Anxious parents have found pictures of the 26-year-old at 2 childcare centres on days he was not listed as being there. And a warning, this story from Danny Tran contains disturbing details.
As children laid his feet, Joshua Dale Brown watches on. These pictures, sent in a daily update to parents just a week before the childcare operator was charged with scores of sexual offences, now a source of dread.
I just started crying, just to know that I had left my son there for the day, to have a good day.
The 26-year-old is facing more than 70 charges against 8 children at the Creative Garden Early Learning Centre in Point Cook. His working history at 20 centres prompted authorities to call for 1,200 children to be tested for sexually transmitted diseases. Parents urged to check an official list. But the information isn't up to date. Devastated parents today sending the ABC pictures of Brown at Aussie Kindies Early Learning Keilor on a day not included in the list. The centre's operator, Affinity Education, says it's now reviewing its records in detail.
Well, I just don't understand how it took so long for them to realise how many days he had been working.
It's absolutely clear that the system that's meant to protect our children in this environment isn't working properly. Otherwise, this would not have happened.
Among the accusations against Joshua Dale Brown is the charge of recklessly contaminating food with bodily fluids. It's prompted a huge public health response, but the department isn't saying how many children have already been tested. Parents have told the ABC they're worried that outdated information means they just don't know if their child needs to be tested. The other issue facing 1,200 families is how to broach the issue with children who can't fully communicate yet.
Well, I've asked them, have you seen this man? Did this man look after you? Did this man touch you?
The company behind some of the centres, including Creative Garden, G8, has been battered on the stock exchange. The share price of Australia's biggest operator, with more than 400 centres, falling 3 days in a row, representing a total loss of more than 15%. A public price with a very personal cost. Danny Tran, ABC News, Melbourne.
Victoria Police Sexual Crime Squad commenced an investigation in May this year after detectives discovered child abuse material. We immediately acted and executed a search warrant at the Point Cook home of a 26-year-old Joshua Brown. As a result, Brown was charged with over 70 offences which relate to alleged sexual assaults committed against 8 identified child victims.
As a precaution, we are recommending that some children undergo testing for infectious diseases due to a potential exposure risk in that period. We do understand that this is another distressing element to the situation, and we're taking this approach as a precaution. We do believe it's a low risk, but we want to offer this to provide assurance to the parents about the health and well-being of their children. At this stage, we are recommending that around 1,200 children undergo testing for infectious diseases.
This is just sickening, rock stars. Oh my goodness. The system, it needs to change. Because right now it's broken, guys. So, sadly, the Labor Party is pushing new laws that affect regional land rights in Victoria. This one's a doozy, guys.
Have you heard what's going on in Victoria right now? I can guarantee you haven't, so let me fill you in. The Allen Labor government is pushing laws that would let officials and energy companies enter private farmland without consent. And if you say no, you will be fined $12,210. If you don't hand over your ID, $4,000. And if you remove a notice from your own land, $1,221. How is this allowed? Where is the respect for regional families? I don't know about you, but this feels like a very outrageous attack on property rights and regional families who are already up to their eyeballs in drought and rising costs. So what? You just want to take away people's rights too? This isn't consultation. This is coercion. We need to stand up for regional families and protect our property rights. Farmers need to stand with farmers, and now, more than ever, we need our city cousins to stand with us.
Okay, rock stars, a bit of a downer of an episode. Please forgive me, guys. But there are ways that you can make little changes here and there. Maybe email the crap out of your MPs, your local ones. And maybe start a petition. Why not, guys? Contact your local council members, voice your concerns. Why not? So, I'm going to be taking about a few weeks off, guys. I got to be with my family. It's school holidays and yeah. But I will be working behind the scenes. So do your best to be united. Don't be divided. That's how we win, guys. Take care.
Karen, she's from the USA. Works for the Aussie government, they say. She likes to censor, control what we say. But Australians are free, we won't obey. She's got rules, regulations. Thinks she can manipulate our nation. But we won't back down, no hesitation. Australians speak up, it's our foundation. Karen, you can try, but you won't succeed. We won't be silenced, we won't concede. We've got our voices and our belief. No amount of censorship can bring us to our knees.
Well, we have a range of graduated powers. There could be civil proceedings and we could take them to court or we could fine them. Of course, the quantum of the fine would depend on the gravity of the non-compliance to really minimize the amount of content the Australians can see.
She's got rules, regulations. Thinks she can manipulate our nation. But we won't back down, no hesitation. Australians speak up, it's our foundation. Karen, you can try, but you won't succeed. We won't be silenced, we won't concede.
Are you accepting it?
We've got our voices and our beliefs. No amount of censorship can bring us to our knees.
Well, we have a range of graduated powers.